company inside of Minecraft, so I get to say I kind of play Minecraft for a living. My other interests are in sort of urban design and participatory planning, which is what led me to join Block by Block. So we've got a really interesting event for you today. Just to lay down some house rules. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as we're going along. We can return to those at the end and during the panel session. Today's event will be about 1 hour. We have some very special speakers who've been involved with Block by Block in a number of different ways. Some are our direct implementing partners, whilst others have helped to sort of set up the program. And today we'll hear about their experience and how the playbook that we're launching today can help scale up our work worldwide. So to open the event, we have a very special message from the Executive Director of UN Habitat. Madame Maimouna Mo Sharif was the mayor of Seberang Perai in Malaysia before joining the United Nations. She was and still is a strong advocate for public-private people partnerships and gender budgeting. She assumed the office in January 2018, becoming the first Asian woman to serve as Executive Director of UN Habitat. Madame Maimouna has always been a really great supporter of Block by Block and saw the value of using Minecraft for community engagement. So let's hear from Madame Ed herself with a short video.
Distinguished participants, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you today to launch the Block by Block Playbook. Civic engagement and empowerment are at the heart of our mission. Community participation in public space design can improve outcomes by bringing together people with different knowledge and skills and create a sense of ownership and commitment. Participation can also help to produce policies with greater public acceptability to improve trust in government and increase support for implementation. If we do not find the right language to communicate with the community, we risk having their voices unheard, especially the hard-to-reach groups. This line of thinking led us to look for the right digital tool that could give participants new avenues through which to become informed, share opinions, collaborate, and take action. Through our Global Public Space Program, we pioneered the use of Minecraft in 2012 in Nairobi, Kenya. In the past 9 years, 135 public space projects in 87 cities were carried out. We can proudly say that the results speak for themselves. The level of engagement, creativity, and commitment to the process among the participants continues to amaze us. We have seen girls building inclusive public spaces in Gaza, and girls in Hanoi being inspired to consider architecture as a future profession. People from different backgrounds coming together to design their neighborhood in Kosovo, and homeless people learning urban design skills in Addis Ababa. We have engaged people to always bear inclusiveness in mind, from deaf communities and persons with disabilities in UAE and South Africa to refugees and migrants in Kenya and Lebanon, and to LGBTQI+ community in Ecuador. We found that Minecraft can be the common language that most people understand, especially people with no design or architectural skills. With that, I would like to extend a special gratitude to the Block by Block Foundation and Microsoft for their continuous support. Through their commitments, we are able to scale up and create impact worldwide. Today, we want to share our approach with you, and we hope to see it will be adopted by hundreds other organizations, including governments, civil society, and the private sector. Minecraft is a voice of those who are not usually heard, but who are most impacted by the planning decisions. Through effective interaction with them, we make sure that no one and no place is left behind. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Madam ED, for this message and for always championing Block by Block as an innovative tool within UN Habitat. Moving forward, I'd like to ask Mr. Raftutz to give us his reflection on the programme. Raftutz is the Director of the Global Solutions Division at UN Habitat, where he supervises UN Habitat's portfolio of projects in over 80 countries, implemented through 7 thematic branches and 4 regional offices. Raf, the past year more than ever, public spaces have played a really vital role in the health and sustainability of urban communities around the world. It's essential that we protect and support these spaces and equip them to face the unprecedented challenges of COVID-19. But in addition to implementing good quality public spaces, we need to inspire and enable communities to improve their local areas on their own terms. And this is where innovation and technology plays a really important role. Having the Block by Block programme under your division, can you share a bit with us your reflection on how innovative the programme has been and what innovation means exactly for UN Habitat?
Thank you, James, for this question. I'm very happy to be here in this launch event. Yes, indeed. I mean, I've seen this program grow up from 2012 onwards and now reaching quite a significant level of diversity and engagement. And I've seen it coming to life here in Nairobi and in very many places in the world. And our division is currently called the Global Solutions Division. And I consider this really as a global solution that has been able to prove itself over this time span, which is necessary for any solution to demonstrate its robustness and viability. So really, I want to echo what our executive director has just said. It is indeed an achievement, and we want to let it grow even further. Now, your question specifically about innovation, I think is an important question. For us, this means embracing new ideas, using new means and fresh approaches to achieve a certain agenda. It's not about technology per se. It's not about the number of applications that we come up with every year. It's more the value that we add in producing a solution. Are we accelerating the quality of life? Are we reaching impact? Are we putting people really at the center with this application? That's the real question that we have to ask about innovation. And it's about also understanding of how particular challenges that we are facing in our cities, small cities, large cities, can be addressed, and how existing paradigms of dealing with challenges can be improved and new perspectives can be added. That's real innovation. And also innovation is about sustainability. How can the impact be sustained? Because innovation needs to be there for the long term, rather than looking at something that is short term and radical. We rather look at it as something that can be sustained. It's a continuous effort. It's a change of attitude. It's a change of mindset. That's what we would like to see as really true innovation. Now, looking at the block by block innovation more specifically, I believe we have been able to do this, to look at the long haul, to the sustainability and the scale. We have made it flexible and adaptable to different contexts, and it is something that within our agency, we look at this approach as the approach, the first approach we consider for any engagement, particularly with young people in whatever field or thematic area that we are working in. And the power, as our executive director has just said, the power of Minecraft is that it serves as a language that allows young people to communicate effectively and generate interest about urban planning and about engagement with city processes, city planning processes, and with local authorities. So it's a tool that bridges the dialogue between young people and city officials, and it creates creativity in a non-traditional way, and it has been able to transform mindsets. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic that we're still grappling with has enabled us to push this methodology further and allow us to have Minecraft workshops that are led virtually. And this has been a major learning, and we hope to use this learning to accelerate the momentum in the time that we have experienced in times of confinement and physical distancing, to also use this for further acceleration of this program.
Excellent. Thanks, Ralph. That's super interesting. I think particularly the point around COVID and being able to move things online speaks a lot to someone like Stacey and myself, who are from the Minecraft and gaming sphere, which has actually seen sort of great ability in online games and platforms to connect people at a time when we can't see each other in person, sadly. Thanks. So I think I'd like now to invite Vu to talk a little bit. So as Chief Media Officer at Mojang, Vu Bui oversees the creative direction, vision and strategy for media events and other efforts within the Minecraft franchising, including the very exciting upcoming Minecraft movie and Minecraft live events. Vu was also one of the founders of the Block by Block program with UN Habitat in 2012, and he's been the president of the board since 2015. Vu's also participated in Block by Block projects around the world, from Kosovo, Keynote, Nairobi, Calabar, and Hanoi in Vietnam. So Vu, as a board member and a Mojangster, what were the initial reasons for engaging in Block by Block, and how important is the role of the private sector and gaming specifically for social change?
Yeah, thanks, James. Back in 2012, I would say we had no idea where things were going to go. There was no way to predict the success of Minecraft. When we look at Minecraft, people take it for granted what it has become. But in 2012, 9 years ago, it was very unclear where things would go with Minecraft in the world and what it could become in terms of being meaningful to people or meaningful to society. So when the opportunity presented itself to work with UN Habitat and use Minecraft for sort of social good, we didn't know very much about public space. We didn't know very much about urban planning. We relied on UN Habitat to bring all of the expertise for all of these things that we didn't know. But we understood how to engage through our game. And we really jumped in because we thought if there was a chance to do some good in the world, and to, especially because in the beginning it was clear that doing this would empower people and empower voices that aren't typically heard. If there was a chance that we could help be a part of that, then we definitely wanted to put our full support behind that and see how far could we take that? How far could we take a partnership between an organization like UN Habitat, which has been around for a very long time and is worldwide. And then at the time, I believe we were around 20 people in a tiny studio in Stockholm making a video game. Like, bringing those two things together has proven to be successful, but at the time it was a grand experiment and we were just hoping we could do some good with it. And I think that we've proved that we have, and it's become even not only Minecraft, but Block by Block has become bigger and more impactful than we could have imagined back in 2012. And the second part of your question, like, how important is it for the private sector to get involved in these things? I think it's extremely important. I think when you look at the future or even the present, people are expecting a lot out of, well, let's just narrow this down to companies and brands. People have different expectations than what they used to. They want to see that companies support things that are important to them as people. And so it's important that companies do this type of work because it's part of their overall brand image. It's part of how they're communicating out what they care about in the world. And it's a way for companies to show that they are more than the business side of whatever their product is, and that all companies today are run by people, and people have cares and concerns in the world. And now more than ever, it's okay for companies to embrace that and bring that to the forefront of their communication and show that they can stand for something, that they believe in things, because companies aren't just faceless brands. They are actually things run by people. And even as the more faceless part of the brand, it's very important to engage in these things worldwide because companies have a lot of power, brands have a lot of power, and they are learning that they can do incredibly great things in the world with that power and influence. So I think moving forward, we're going to see only more and more of this. We didn't really think about that much back in 2012, but now we can see the benefit of having something to really believe in and be able to push for.
Excellent. Thanks, Vu. That's great. And yeah, super interesting. It's easy to forget that, back in 2012, Minecraft wasn't globally recognized as the world's, most popular computer game. And actually, it was probably well before a lot of other initiatives in the very idea of using games in sort of serious, serious planning and design processes. So yes, today, before showcasing the playbook and going into our panel discussion, we'd like to show to our participants how our work is done in practice by showing a case study from Kosovo. So this was a project that we were involved in 2015, where we engaged young people in designing their own neighborhood area. We revisited that same site 5 years later, after the project had been completed, to measure the impact, and here were the results.
I love this place. It's such a nice area, but it has not always been like this.
Well, before, the area felt very cold and unsafe.
Basically, it was just an abandoned place.
Block by Block is a program created by Mojang and UN Habitat where we used Minecraft to help community members redesign their neighborhoods. Kosovo has been impacted by years of conflict, and in those situations, we often see communities divided and public spaces neglected.
It was a really cool project because even the little kids like me could help out to make the city a better place.
They got to use Minecraft to sketch and try different solutions about how the space could be improved.
It was very fun because you felt like to be able to help the city while just playing.
After that, the ideas were presented to local architects and city planners, and later that year, construction started.
It's been 5 years since we participated in the program, and the street since then has become more developed and is now more frequented than before. It seemed kind of unbelievable that this was made with Minecraft.
So seeing my own idea as a kid, changing a whole area in my city, it was very special to me. It's unbelievable that we were able to make reality what was once only an idea in our computer screen. Finally, decision makers have changed their perspective because maybe they realize that we can make a change.
In a democracy, you want the people who live in that community to be asked about what's going to happen in that community. So this is a perfect example. The community was asked, the community decided, the community designed, and the community is using it.
I'm probably going to be really happy and be like, hey friends, I made this. I walk here almost every day, and every time I see it and I see a lot of people spending time here, it's a very gratifying feeling. I just hope it will become real as soon as possible. So the reaction of the community was great, and to me it was a great feeling which I'll never forget.
I came up with a skate park idea and some trees surrounding the park.
It's possible to change the world and make your dreams come true.
It felt like I was being heard, and being heard and listened to is one of the best feelings that you can feel.
Thanks for sharing. I think that video really illustrates the importance, as Raf was saying, of public spaces, which really have an impact in the long term. And going back 5 years later after the project had been built and seeing that the area was still loved and being used by the kids who helped design it was a really sort of satisfying outcome for us. Kosovo is just one example out of hundreds that we've done in the past 9 years with Minecraft. Today we see the value of scaling up the approach and making it available for everyone to use. And to give us a glimpse about the playbook, Christelle Lahoud will give us an introduction on that. Christelle coordinates the Block by Block program at the UN Habitat Global Public Space Program and has been closely involved with Block by Block since 2017. Her work focuses on mainstreaming gender in planning processes, engaging vulnerable groups in city planning decisions, and supporting innovation and technology in urban projects. She's facilitated over 20 block by block workshops worldwide and has represented Block by Block and UN Habitat at global events, including the World Urban Forum. So over to you, Christelle.
Thank you a lot, James, and I'm so happy to be here to finally launch the playbook that we've always been waiting to do. So I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of why we came about to do the playbook, who can use it, and what the user can expect when they do the process. But first, I want to stress again on what the ED has mentioned and express a gratitude to the Block by Block Foundation, who has supported our program for many years. Also, a special thanks to the board members who are very dedicated to the same cause that we believe in, which is increasing participation of the marginalized group and the hard-to-reach participants and community around the world. As Vu mentioned, Minecraft is innovative on its own, but I think also the structure of the foundation is quite innovative, allowing the private sector to work together with the UN to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. I think this is quite interesting that what we're doing is leading towards achieving more inclusive cities. We've done a lot together. We have completed more than 100 Minecraft workshops around the world, engaged more than 30,000 participants, from which 50% are women and girls, trained over 1,000 people on the use of Minecraft, supported 5 emergency responses in Nepal and in Haiti. More recently, during the COVID pandemic, we've trained local government on the use of the methodology. And we've done a lot. We also have upgraded 135 public spaces, giving more access to safe, inclusive public spaces for 2.3 million people worldwide. But I think we can even do more. And this is why the playbook is important today, because this year, more than ever, local governments and organizations have reached out to us to have more more block by block workshops in their cities. One, because of the physical distancing and the confinement, and they needed to find innovative tool to keep the momentum of the participation going. And second, because of the recognition of technology being very effective for advancing participation as well. So the playbook, the playbook has been over a year in the making, and that is based on the lessons learned that we have captured throughout those 100 Minecraft workshops. We wanted to make sure that this playbook is flexible and it's easy to be contextualized in different cities. Who can use it? Anyone who wants to do participation and engage the communities in their city can use this playbook. That being said, national and local government, civil society, associations, NGOs, academia, and others. Who can you invite to your workshop, or who's kind of like the target groups that you can focus on with Minecraft? You can involve, it is often very attractive for young people, but we have done it with different age groups. So it is very flexible to be used among different age groups and different backgrounds and so on. But you can also make sure that your workshop is also focused on a priority that your city wants to focus on. For example, you can engage with children and young people if you want your city to become more child-friendly. And you can engage with migrants and refugees and the host community to build more social cohesion and engage and make sure that they are integrated within the society. You can also engage with women and girls on safety issues and deliver on gender-responsive public spaces. And you can as well engage with persons with disability and older persons who are very often not considered in the city decisions. So the process goes in 3 phases. The first phase is the planning, as any project. The playbook will guide you on the technical and operational requirements that you need, but it will also give you a guidance on the site selection. Often in the public space program, we focus on public spaces. That being said, the streets, playgrounds, open green spaces, public markets. But that doesn't mean that Minecraft cannot be used also for other projects. You can also use it for climate change and environmental projects. You can use it to study mobility or housing projects, for example. The second phase is the Minecraft workshop, which is the core element of the process. This is where the actual space that you decide to work on is transformed into a Minecraft model, and the participants will get the opportunity to become architects and planners. So they are the ones shifting the environment and making sure they will not only tell us what they want, but they will show us by constructing block by block the ideas that they want to do. At the end of the workshop, they will do a presentation for the decision makers and the experts, and a priority list of their needs is then created. The final phase is the implementation, and this is very important because we want to make sure that the results from the Minecraft workshop is not lost in translation. This is important for architects or for designers or any expert who's gonna work on the project to include those needs of the community in the final plans and technical designs of the public space. An important element is the inclusive implementation. We don't believe about just engaging the community at one stage of the project. We're not here just to listen to them. We want them to be engaged, throughout the process till the end. And that's why inclusive implementation is very important. And the playbook will guide you on what are the ways that you can ensure that they are included when the sites are constructed, like painting, fixing elements, or even cleaning the site. In the playbook, each phase has different activities that you need to do. Some of them are mandatory and some of them are optional, depending on how much capacities but also budget you have in-house. Each activity, the playbook will guide you how much time it needs to be completed, who are the participants to be engaged, what are the materials needed, and a list of simple steps that you follow, with some guiding tips in case you face problems during the activity, and a set of tools and templates at the end of the guide. Some of the benefits of doing this process are twofold. One, I would say the physical, which is very evident, like at the end we're having more inclusive public spaces that are designed in a bottom-up approach. But the other impact that I want to stress on is the social impact. During the workshop itself, we're bridging differences through the digital dialogue. Minecraft is becoming the mediator. It's bringing people from different backgrounds to reshape their built environment. These people could be the decision maker and the expert talking to the community, who often do not speak together, but also the community themselves speaking together through the game. And that's quite interesting because sometimes people from different religion or migrants and host community do not really know how to speak to each other. And at the end of the workshop, when they're presenting their ideas, they see that the needs are the same, and this is what kind of unifies them. And they can only see that because of the outcome of Minecraft ideas. The second thing is the increasing digital literacy, but also building soft and hard skills. In the workshop, people are exposed to some basic coding functions, but also how to use the computer in many parts of the world. We have engaged with people with limited access to technology, so it's already like a good way to expose the community to different ways or different digital technology. They also build leadership and communication skills. They learn how to speak in confidence about their ideas, and they learn their rights to the city and why their voices matter in a way. And they can also learn technical skills. I mean, in the workshop, when the experts are also present, they can also inform them about different ways of maybe doing a certain intervention using sustainable energy. And they might also have the opportunity to execute that after, like we see in the bottom right, picture where a girl is actually assembling the solar lighting that she has created on Minecraft as an idea, but she's doing it in practice in reality. And finally, they also acquire management and maintenance knowledge and how to keep the spaces maintained. As the mayor of Kosovo said, when the people decide and create, they maintain. And this is really, really important. When you engage them from the onset, they feel ownership of the space. And when you include them in the implementation, they feel even more ownership. They're gonna feel the space is theirs. They're not gonna vandalize it. They're not gonna, litter around, and they're just gonna keep it maintained. And we have seen that working in many parts of the world, where the participants themselves create a small committee and meet up every now and then to clean the space. And this is what local governments want to hear. They want, by investing in participation, they're reducing costs for maintenance, which is great in a way. So there are lots of examples of other projects that we have done on our website. You can download the playbook today on the UN Habitat official website, and please follow us on social media. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Cristela. It's really great to see a summary of the playbook there, and it does represent a huge amount of work from UN Habitat side. So thanks to your colleagues as well. So as we move to the last section of our program today, I'm really excited to introduce some of our panelists to tell us more about their experience with Minecraft and Block by Block. So first of all, we have Mr. Eshetu Mulu. He is the Research and Project Management Director in the Addis Ababa River Basins and Green Area Development and Administration Agency. With an extensive experience in landscape design and urban agriculture, as well as project management, Eshetu was the focal person for a Block by Block pilot project in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. As well as supervising the project on the ground, he was also involved in the actual design of the public space, which we visited just last year, using his background in landscaping to ensure a sustainable and practical approach to the site's horticulture. We also have Christy Daniel. Christy joined Healthbridge in January 2011 as Director of the Livable Cities Programme, and her role includes providing technical assistance to local partners, programme planning and implementation, and monitoring of local programmes. Christy's head office is in Ottawa, but she travels extensively to meet with Healthbridge's local partners. And finally, we have Stacey Hinojosa, or Stacey Plays, who created her YouTube channel in 2013. Her videos have been viewed more than 1 billion times and include series with themes like reading, science, and animal rescue. Stacey has partnered with Minecraft on a number of philanthropic campaigns, including Coral Crafters, a project with the Nature Conservancy to help restore coral reefs off the coast of Mexico, as well as a Block by Block fundraising live stream with her friend Stampy Longnose at Mojang's offices in Stockholm. She officially joined the Block by Block team in 2020 as an ambassador and is passionate about sharing our mission with the wider Minecraft community. So welcome to all. Great to see some familiar faces with us today. I'll start with Mr. Eshetu. We've been involved in Ethiopia for some time now, starting with a pilot project, and today scaling up our work to the national level and implementing a country program. So, Eshetu, through your experience in Ethiopia, how has scaling up of the process to the national level taken place? And what from this process inspires the government to continue that work? I know Eshetu was here earlier. It might be possible that he's disconnected at the wrong time, so we can perhaps come back to him and go instead to Christy. So through Healthbridge, we've been able to implement over 10 projects together using Minecraft in Niger, Ghana, Vietnam, Uganda, and Brazil. So based on your great experience and involvement with Block by Block, how would you describe the impact of using Minecraft at the community level?
Thanks, James. I think some of the impacts are obvious. So through the use of Minecraft, we get creative, innovative designs that actually reflect what the community wants. And so this results in vastly improved public spaces that people actually want to visit and spend time in. But we also get spaces that we feel better reflect the needs of the entire community and not just a small subset of people who would normally be asked. So because there is an emphasis in a lot of our workshops on including people of all ages and genders and abilities, we're creating spaces that welcome everyone. And that idea of welcoming people is really, really important. Minecraft. Minecraft also allows us to focus on those places in the community that might not be thought of as traditional public spaces. So for example, we worked with our partner in Ghana to create micro play spaces in markets for children to play. And markets aren't typically places for children to play. And so Minecraft really helped the officials as well as the market people to really understand what was possible and get them excited about it. We're currently finishing a project in Vietnam right now where we're redesigning a street market. And that's been really challenging because street markets are a bit of a gray zone in terms of legality. And so Minecraft really allows the project team to get permission from the government officials to move forward because the government officials are participating in the workshops as well. But I am a public health person, and so I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the larger societal impacts that I think come from using Minecraft and getting these really great spaces. So Minecraft gives us better public spaces that people actually want to use. And so when we think of the impacts of actually having people use the spaces, we're talking about improved health. So if you are using the public space, then you're more likely to be active, for example. If you're being outside in nature and connecting with your neighbors, you're more likely to see improved mental health. Places where people feel welcome gives us more socially connected neighborhoods, which we know is really important in times of disaster, and we're seeing that happen time and time again. So if we think about, using a public health term, the causal chain, using Minecraft doesn't improve health directly, but using Minecraft gives us the spaces that people want to use that then creates opportunities for better health.
Thanks for that answer. Yeah, that's super interesting. I think particularly what you said about working in an informal city in situations which are normally very difficult to negotiate sort of politically and legally. It's fascinating to hear about Minecraft's potential in that space. So yeah, just to move on to Asheto, I see you're back now. Hopefully your connection's okay. So yeah, I was going to ask you really through your experience in Ethiopia, which is where you're based, how has the scaling up of the block by block process worked now that we're working at really a national level? Could you tell us a bit more about how that's going? We can't hear you. I can see that you're not muted, but I can't seem to hear any audio. Okay, maybe we'll come back to that again and see if we have any luck later. So just to jump to Stacey, you obviously bring quite a different perspective to this. We've got quite an interesting mix of people here, but your experience is really from gaming and the Minecraft community specifically. So drawing on that experience from the Minecraft community, what do you think the value is of Minecraft in creating social impact?
Yeah, well, I think that the value is definitely just that you're able to reach younger and younger people. Younger and younger people are finding Minecraft every single day, and young people are so passionate about change and social change. And so, this is really, they often don't have an avenue to actually make that change when they're that young. And Block by Block is definitely giving them that opportunity. Before the pandemic, I had the opportunity to go to, I think it was over 20 cities in the United States, a lot of times at official Minecraft community events. And I met thousands of kids, and there would be many times where parents would say, "Oh, my kid is shy," or they have a hard time talking to adults. They might not say much to you. Maybe they might not say anything to you because they're somewhere on the autism spectrum. And time again, the parents would just be so surprised by the in-depth conversations I would be able to have with their kid because I'm talking about Minecraft. I'm using a language that they are fluent in and that they're really, really passionate about. And many times the adults are kind of struggling to kind of even keep, I'm saying words like purpur and redstone and mycelium and glowstone and prismarine and the conversation's going on, and they're like, wow, I didn't know that my child was able to, have this kind of really in-depth conversation with an adult. And I think that really speaks to the power of these workshops, that kids are able to come into these workshops and are really empowered to make change in their community. And just, the more people that can make change, the more change is going to happen, particularly with young people and marginalized groups.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a great answer. And it's always inspiring to see that moment where this kind of other part of young people's imagination or voice is really unlocked by a game like Minecraft. And you talked a little bit about, or earlier we've talked about the kind of accessibility of Minecraft. And I think this is something that's really important with the Playbook, is that with or without Minecraft experience, even if you've never played the game before, it's still quite easy to pick up. So what do you think it is about Minecraft that makes it such an accessible tool?
Yeah, it's definitely easy to pick up. I started playing about a decade ago, and I hadn't touched a video game since the 1990s. And, so if I can pick it up and learn it and make a career out of it, I think other people can definitely pick it up quickly. And I guess I will say, too, that I think it's actually kind of a benefit that kids in workshops either are already familiar with Minecraft or will just pick it up super fast. I think that actually can sort of level the playing field a little bit and make the kids just way more engaged right off the bat. They're no longer thinking, oh, I'm just listening to adults talk. They're more in control. They're saying, oh, this is something I know, and I can even teach an adult something about this game. And so I think that kind of leveling of the power imbalance is actually really, really helpful because, as others have mentioned, they're not going to be kids for very long. They're going to turn into teens. They're going to turn into adults who are then that more involved in their community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we see time and time again in workshops where that intergenerational divide is bridged by the fact that young people are generally a bit quicker to pick up the technology, and therefore, helping the sort of older generations to get to grips with it. And it breaks down a lot of barriers, and it kind of forces that conversation to start, which is really great. Okay, we'll give this another go, Ishetu. I know you're having some technical difficulties, but hopefully we can make this work. So just to go back to the question on your experience of Block by Block in Ethiopia and how the program's being scaled up to a national level.
Hello.
Yes, we're on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Are you hearing? Hello. Hello,
yes,
James.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, James, for your for the opportunity to share my experience. Our experience in scaling up of the Addis Ababa Public Space Program with UN Habitat using block by block methodology to the national level started in early 2019. During that time, my city, Addis Ababa, hosted an inspirational event for quality, safe, inclusive public spaces, because we believe public space play a key role in triggering development, and we aim to share our experience in rehabilitating and creating public space with involvement of community for equal development across the cities in Ethiopia. The event was organized mainly for various cities across the country. Most of the cities were regional capitals with rapid urbanization and diverse challenges of public space. These 6 cities were historical city, Harar, Adama, Bahar Dar city, Dreddawa, Mekelle, and Hawassa. The main objective of the event were the launch of National Public Space Program and wide discussion around strategies, challenges, importance of public space, and about the future of public space in Ethiopian cities. And that's how our experience started as a national level. But we were also part of various events for the success of the National Public Space Program for the last 2 years, including training that we led in Bahar Dar city as well as experience sharing for the pilot cities in Adama, while the pilot city faced challenges in implementation of the National Public Space Program. All the events were organized by Ministry of Urban Development and Construction. We also shared our experience internationally, the citizen-led rehabilitation of riverfront for the East and Central African cities found in Uganda, Malawi, Kenya, Tanzania, organized by ICLE Africa. In addition of this, even though it is on the early stage, public space design guideline and public space management manual are under development as part of the National Public Space Program, and we are playing a key role on this. To conclude my response on this, our experience in this ranges from digital tool, community participation, and physical implementation of public space to stakeholder mobilization and development of manual around public space. On the other hand, in the inspiration of for the second question, that means the government is inspired to continue work on the public space to ensure availability, accessibility, inclusivity, safety in public space development in Addis Ababa, as well as in regional capitals and urban centers, using simple and easily accessible technologies for involvement of citizens, private sectors, national and international organizations.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, since the launch of public space project with UN Habitat, we have invested billions for improvement and creation of public space in my city, Addis. This includes the Sugar Beautification Project, which includes a span 52 kilometers riverfront rehabilitation and over 8 city and sub-city level high-quality public parks were and many neighborhood public parks were developed. This is my government intention in creating quality public space for various reasons and functions. Among the main functions for my government and my city in succeeding on the topic of the public space, use of digital tools and innovation to engage citizens for redefining their own city and to respond to the growing demand of public space for sports, diverse culture, for economy, for innovation, education, and resilient environment in the city. And also political will to achieve sustainable development targets as well, and for harmonization of development in cities and city center public space in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, that's great to hear about your experience, and particularly on the policy level. So beyond the physical projects and workshops that we run, how those can really start broader conversations at a national level about public spaces. And I think in the case of Ethiopia, it was great to see that the block by block projects there actually helped unlock a lot of government funds for other public spaces, not just in Addis, but in Adama and the other cities as well. And I know we're looking really to see how we can develop these country programs, but it's great to see Ethiopia taking that first step and really being a leader in that regard. Excellent. So thank you so much to all our panelists and guest speakers for joining today. It's been really great to hear about your diverse perspectives and experiences. I think just to sum up, again, sort of huge thanks to UN Habitat who brought this event together, and the Playbook, especially Kristal's put a lot of hours into that. And yeah, I think we've got a nice group of people here. I think we're looking to engage more directly with other people. So if you are planning to use the Block by Block Playbook in your own community or government or sort of town institute, it would be great to stay in touch. I think we've had one question around the practicalities of Minecraft modeling, and there is some information in the playbook around that, but we're also more than happy to be in touch with you to discuss our own experiences with more advanced Minecraft modeling and GIS, which is which can get quite complicated, but it's an interesting field. So yes, are there any other kind of questions or comments for either myself or any of the speakers here today? In which case, I think we can leave it there. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Raf, Stacey, Christy, Vu, Ishatu, and Madame Edie for her amazing video. And yeah, please do stay in touch. And we look forward to hearing any exciting and interesting uses of our playbook in the future. So thank you so much.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.